guys, my name is Amanda and welcome to this introductory type video where we're going to be chatting all about the next quilt along. It has been a very long time since I last did a quilt along and I have been promising this one for a while and we're finally here, we're finally doing it. Better late than never, you know. I've had this idea for doing a house themed quilt along for ages and I've just never acted on it. I've never had the time to design the blocks, but this year it was one of my goals that I wanted to do with my channel. We are now 8 months into the year, so we better get cracking and get it started. So over the last couple of months I have been pretty busy just organizing everything, writing patterns, making designs, getting everything to a point that I am happy with, and I think we're finally there. As I mentioned, it has been a while since I last did a quilt along. I had a look on my channel just now and the last time I did one was 7 years ago, so I might be a little bit rusty with doing my tutorials, so just bear with me. But for this quilt along we are doing 9 lovely house blocks that I have designed myself. The size of them will be 12.5-inch squared finished. I do have the first block that we will be making here to show you as a sample. I'm calling this block the original homestead because it's quite an old fashioned classic type house block and I just absolutely love it. So this is going to be block number 1 and each block is going to be slightly different. Some of them are pretty easy to piece together like block 1, others might be a little bit more tricky. So I would say that this quilt along is for beginners to more immediate type sewers. But even saying that, if you are a beginner then please still join us. I like to think my tutorials are pretty easy to follow along, and of course if you have any questions you can always just email me or pop it in the comments below and I'll definitely help you as best as I can. Just like with my other quilt alongs, for each tutorial you'll get a free pattern sheet for you to print out and follow along. The pattern sheets will have a picture of the block, it will have all of the measurement and cutting instructions, and this time I'm also including a colouring page of the block so you can design and colour in your own block to have it as kind of like a guide and sort of like plan and choose what kind of colours you want to use in your block. So I'm pretty excited to add that into the pattern. The patterns will be available via my blog, but the link to the patterns will be in the description of each video for you to click on and then download, print and follow along. So I've designed the 9 blocks to all be fat quarter friendly. So if you have a fat quarter bundle that you want to break into, or just a few little ones that are just scattered around in your sewing room that you want to use, then you can definitely use it in this quilt along. Of course you will need extra meterage or yardage of fabrics for the borders and the sashing that we're going to do, and also for the backing and the binding, but all of that information will be given to you when we get to that point. But with a quick estimate off the top of my mind, I would possibly aim to have at least 2 meters or 2 yards of backing and sashing fabric to finish the quilt top, and maybe about the same for your backing and half a meter to a meter or a yard for your binding, just to be safe. I don't want you to be cut short. So just like with my past quilt alongs, I'm also going to be doing a hashtag with this quilt along. I don't know whether hashtags are relevant anymore. Am I a dinosaur not knowing that hashtags just don't really matter anymore? But anyway, we're gonna make a hashtag for this quilt along series. I think we're going to do Amanda's house block quilt along. I don't think that's too long. I should be okay. So use the hashtag when you're sharing your photos of what you're making on your socials, mainly Instagram. That's what I'm mainly on. Use the hashtag, tag me at 3 3/4 and I will definitely see what you're making. And it also just gives a really great opportunity for other people to see what you're making and to really make this a lovely community of people that are sewing and making this lovely quilt together. And finally, I will also be sharing a lot of behind the scenes sort of stuff and content over on my Patreon. I've just recently opened it and I'm kind of planning on using it as a behind the scenes, just showing you the different steps and the different ways that I go about making my tutorials, the design process that I go through, how I pick fabrics, how I design my blocks, how I do all of the pattern design on the computer, like everything. So if you can, it would be really great to have you over on Patreon to see a little bit more of behind the scenes stuff and to support the channel and the work that I do here on YouTube. The last thing that I need to share with you, I almost forgot, is the fabrics that I'm using. So as you can see with my first block, I'm using mainly solids, and then for the windows and the doors I'm using this really fun black and white spot fabric. And I've just pulled a whole load of lovely pastel sort of solids from my solids shelf here that I think just go really well. So I've got blues for the skies, greens and greys for paths and grasses, pinks and purples and mauves for houses, and then some yellows and whites just to sort of balance everything out. So I will be using a whole combination of these together. What I love most about my quilt alongs is I really give you freedom to do whatever you want in what kind of colors, what kind of prints, what choices of cuts you want to use to make your blocks. So I really encourage you to just get really quite fun with this and make it as bold and bright and out there as possible. But also I think it would be really cool to really work with a limited color palette. But like I said, the choice is yours. That's what's so great about patchwork and quilting. The choices that you can make are endless and they are solely your choice. You can be as creative as you want and just express your personality and your creativity with the type of fabrics that you choose to make or use. I think that makes a little bit more sense. Okay, my friends, I think that is everything we need to share in this introductory video for my next quilt along. The first block tutorial will be out in the next couple of days and I'm so excited to share it with you. If there's anything that I've missed or I think is important to share with you before then I'll pop it in the description box below. And if not, I look forward to having you join me in this next quilt along series on my channel. I'm so excited for it and I think some of the blocks that we're going to make are just going to look really great and it's just going to be lots and lots of fun. So until then, my friends, thank you all so much for watching and I'll see you sometime very soon. Bye bye.